Hey y'all, it's me Maya. Welcome back to my channel. As you read today's title, I'm going to be doing a college decision video. I already posted where I'm going on my Instagram, so a lot of people already know. Most people already know, basically. But I just wanted to do this video because I did the college reaction video. So I'm going to do this video as a follow-up. And I'm excited. I just want to be able to look back and see it. So I applied to like 30-something schools. Would you recommend? But I didn't have a dream school. I basically didn't have any clue where I wanted to go. I just know I didn't really want to stay in state, but then at the same time I was like, maybe I should stay in state. So I applied to in-state schools, but I had no clue where I wanted to go. Kind of had a major. It kind of changed a little bit, but it's basically like the same area. But yeah, so I didn't have a dream school, which is why I applied to so many schools. I narrowed it down to 12 schools so that I could like put it in a video. And the schools are University of Houston, FAMU, Florida State, Georgia State, University of Central Florida, Clark Atlanta University, University of Georgia, Indiana University, North Carolina A&T, LSU, Florida International University, and Arizona State University. And I live in Georgia, so I applied Georgia State, UGA, Clark. Yeah, that's all the thing. That's it. Well, okay, yeah, those are all the in-state schools that I've actually like we're considering. I'm excited. I'm looking at my phone periodically so that I could see. I made an order of what schools I was taking out. So the first school that I took out was Arizona State. And this was because well, this is the first school I applied to. This was the first school I took out, obviously. And I took it out because it's just really far and my dad doesn't want me to go far, and then it's also not cheap because they gave me $10,000 a year, but then it still said I had to pay 40 to 50, somewhere in there. So yeah, basically didn't get, I mean, I don't really get financial aid basically. So basically the school was just too expensive, and I just thought it was really pretty. And they do have like a business school. I'm applying for business marketing. In some schools it's communications and like digital advertising, so it's in that area. I just kind of narrowed out then, plus I just knew I wasn't gonna be able to go anyways. The second school I took out was Clark. Okay, so Clark I took out because it's in state, and I applied during like their homecoming back in like September, October, something like that. And so it's like I kept on saying stuff about Clark, so that's why I wanted to apply to Clark. But I kept going in and like back and forth whether I wanted to go to HBCU or not, because I didn't even tell y'all the things that I'm looking for the most when it comes to college are make sure that I have my major, and like specifically my major. I want to go to a school with a lot of school spirit, because the high school that I go to now is pretty dead. They don't do anything. The students don't even like being at the school. So I wanted to go to a school where the students actually enjoyed the school. And I also wanted to go to a school where it was really diverse, because my school is basically it's predominantly black, which, you know, I like that, but all black is still not diverse. And so going to HBCU would not be a diverse school because the majority of it is black. So I wanted to go to a school where it was pretty mixed, or at least like if I went on the campus and I seen it, it would be mostly mixed. That's basically why I took out Clark. And like when you look up Clark, the tuition seems like it's cheap, but in a financial aid it is still in the 40 something. So I just took it out. Okay, the next school I taken out was like, it wasn't my dream school, but it was like my top school for a good minute, and that's Florida International. So Florida International is in Miami, for y'all who don't know. The school is really, really pretty. It's not really a sports school, but it's just really pretty. It's in Miami, and it's a good school, I'm pretty sure. But I took it out because I applied, I got in, but I got in for summer. And I don't know if I applied for summer or if I just got in for summer, because the acceptance letter, like nothing really says like that the major switched. So I don't know if I accidentally applied for that, because I started my application in like August and I did not submit it until like February, because I was waiting for my grades to get updated from the first year, my first year grades. So yeah. So I don't know if I just messed up the application, because like I said, it was like my top school, so the first application I did fill out, but I just never submitted it. So it is possible that I messed it up. But anyways, I got accepted for summer, and I don't want to go to school in the summer. I want to go to school in the fall, so got taken out. Fourth school I'm taking out is going to be NCAT. And I'm taking this school out because it's It's basically like, okay, I guess I can for me, I really wanted to be in Florida, right? I really want to be in Florida because it's warm, it's still close to home. I've been to Florida. I know I like Florida because I don't travel. I've only been to South Carolina, like, that I can remember. I've only been to Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Florida. So those are the only states that I've actually been in, like, vacation or seeing family. So I know I like Florida. So I was like, okay, I'll just go to Florida. And that's basically why NCAT got taken out. And then it was like, okay, well, if I go to one HBCU, if I go to HBCU, it'll have to be in Florida. So that's why I also took NCAT out for that reason. But just stay tuned. Okay, Georgia State. Georgia State was the next school I took out. Georgia State I took out. I was really obsessed with this school. This was also going in, like, I kind of, like, at one point it was my top school and the next point it wasn't. But then it's like, okay, whenever I thought about it, it was my top school because the city of Atlanta is really good for opportunities. Like, Atlanta, there's a lot of opportunities in Atlanta, especially, like, in business. There's lots of things. I went to the school, heard them talk about it. They have my major exactly. And even though it is mostly black, it's still pretty diverse when I go on the campus. But I take it out because I went to a field trip there and one of the girls in my group basically got groped. And I'm sorry, I just can't do the city thing. I don't think I'm a city person. And I really wanted to like Georgia State because Atlanta, like, come on, I'm already here. I get in-state tuition. Like, I wouldn't even have to pay that much. And no, after that, I couldn't do it. And then it's like with Georgia State, the buildings are like scattered. It's like still in the same area, kind of, but there is no like campus necessarily. Like, there's just buildings. Like, there might be like a Georgia State building, some other random building, another Georgia State building. I don't like that, so it got taken off for all those reasons. So ignore this like super weird angle, but there's a flag on my wall that says what school I'm going to, and I don't want to show that. And also did just record that, but then I realized. Anyways, I just want to add in there that I know that safety is like a problem in most schools, if not all schools, but it's just that when I was at Georgia State, the fact that the campus is like all over the place and that anybody can really just be there around you, it's like a sense of security, it wasn't there for me, or like I wasn't comfortable there. I just feel like, I don't know if what I just made makes sense, but basically. But I did initially really like Georgia State. It's not for me. The next school I took off was UGA because I got rejected. It's really that simple. I didn't want to go to UGA initially because it's in state and my dad really wanted me to go. But then I was like, okay, well, the school has a lot of spirit. They have a good business program. They have my exact major. It's a PWI. It's not diverse, but the black people in there are like pretty close knit, so it isn't like there's no black people there. So there's that. I never visited the campus, so I was kind of considering it, but then I got rejected, so that took itself out basically. Okay, the schools left are LSU, University of Houston, Indiana, FAMU, UCF, and Florida State. So the next school I'm going to be eliminating is going to be Florida State, which is also one of my top schools at one point. So like, I didn't have dream schools, but for me it's like whenever like I learn about a school, I get like really obsessed over it for like a little bit amount of time and then I'm over it. So I was obsessed with Florida State, but I knew the acceptance rate, and like when I go on College Line, it's like a chancing website, it basically like said that I wasn't gonna get in. So I was, even though those are not 100% accurate, I feel like it still gives me like a good idea. So I pretty much marked it off. Not marked it off. Okay, so I pretty much like lowered my expectations because I was like, okay, it's quite possible I don't get accepted into this school. And I didn't. Well, I kind of got accepted. I got accepted. Okay, so if you've ever applied to UT Austin, which I haven't, but I watched a lot of videos, and it's a thing called CAP, or like you get capped, basically saying you have to go to a UT school and then you get to go to UT Austin. So Florida State basically was like, you go to their community college and then I can transfer to Florida State, and I didn't really want to do that. So yeah, I don't know. I guess you can say I got accepted. I don't really know if that would be accepted. I don't know. Okay, the next school I'm taking off is University of Houston. So University of Houston, I found out like basically after I applied to all of my schools, because I typed in like most of our schools in the US, and University of Houston came up, and I liked Texas, and I kind of thought I would like Houston. I've never been, so there's that. But I applied, I got in. I didn't get any scholarships or anything from Houston, so, but the school is pretty cheap compared to like all these other schools. Houston was only $18, but I took it off because my dad said it's too far. So yeah, And plus, I didn't get to go see I didn't get to go visit the campus, but like on all the pictures, it just seemed like like it was pretty inside, but like outside it wasn't like so amazing. And also, it's a sports school, but it isn't like a super sports school. Even though I'm not necessarily a sports person, but with sports goes spirit, and like I wouldn't mind going like tailgating events and stuff. And so Houston, I don't think it's that, but Houston is very diverse, which is why I stayed for so long. So then I brought NCAT back. Okay, another thing was I applied to NCAT, right? And they emailed me saying they never got my transcript. So I was like, well, I'm not resending it because I have to pay to send it. And I was like, I don't really want to go there, so I'm not submitting it. But a couple weeks, like a month or so ago, no, like a month or a couple weeks ago, I started thinking about my options. And I was like, I think I'm gonna go submit my thing. But then I realized I actually did submit it because I was starting to think like maybe I didn't submit it because they had my Clay and State one because I do dual enrollment. So they had that one, but they didn't have my high school one. So I was like, maybe I actually did forget to submit it, but then I actually went and saw the receipt. So then I called them, and then they basically was like, I might have to email it. So I had my counselor email it. So I was starting to like think, maybe I do really want to go here. Like, I don't know, it's in North Carolina, so it isn't Florida, but I don't know. I really don't know why I wanted it back, but I did start thinking, and I'm still thinking. Well, in y'all's view, I'm still thinking. Okay, the next school I'm going to be eliminating, I'm sure y'all can guess this based off what I've been saying about the other schools, is going to be Indiana because it's too far, and it's pretty expensive. So yeah, I didn't get any scholarship, didn't get financial aid. I got into Kelly though, so that's why it was on there for so long, because Kelly's a good business school and I have my exact major, marketing and then social media. So I was really interested in Indiana, but it's not diverse from what I can research. It's not diverse. And my dad said no. Yeah, that's really it. So, but I did really like Indiana. And it's super pretty. The school is super pretty online. But couldn't go visit. Couldn't convince my dad. He said it's too far. So yeah. Okay, so the next school I took out was FAMU. Now FAMU was like one of my top schools for like literally the entire thing. A couple weeks ago actually, like I said, it was between FAMU and like technically one of these other schools. But then I brought NCAT in to basically replace FAMU because I know FAMU is a good school, but I'm not gonna say FAMU is a party school, but I kind of feel like it is like it's a party school. Hold on, let me look this up before I'm just wrong. I'm actually wrong. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's a party school, but then again, it is in Tallahassee. So from what I've seen, I've never been to Tallahassee. A lot of people say that in Tallahassee there's not a lot to do, and I do really want to like not have to just stay on campus to do stuff. Like I want to be able to like go driving and go somewhere else. And so, and then they're like, it's 2 hours plus from the beach. And I was like, okay, if I can be in Florida, I want to be able to go to the beach or at least go somewhere else. So that's why I just took FAMU out and replaced it with NCAT. So our final three came NCAT, UCF, and LSU. So this decision is a little bit hard, not that complicated, honestly. It was pretty much like, okay, well, might as well go here. The school's nice. Like there's no reason for me not to go here, so I'm just gonna go here. And then one other thing. So I'm gonna talk about each school again, because I didn't talk about these two, but I'm talking about each school, what I like about them. Then we'll decide. So NCAT is HBCU, even though I don't necessarily love HBCUs because I don't feel like they're diverse. I do like to be around, you know, black people. But yeah, I like NCAT. It's a pretty school. The people there seem like they actually like to balance like party and then also like school stuff. And then they have my major specifically again. With FAMU, at least from like the first time I went on there, like they didn't have my major, and then when I applied or like when I was picking my major, most all their majors were like bachelor's of science, and then this, like for me, it would have been bachelor of science marketing or something like that. So they didn't have exactly what I wanted, or they had communications. They didn't have like digital advertising, social media, like that type of stuff. They just had communications itself, which is not what I want to major in, because communications is like everything, and I want to be able to narrow down specifically to what I want to do. So NCAT does have my major. Exactly. Yeah, that's really it. Like if I was to go to HBCU, it would be this one. UCF. Okay, UCF's in Florida. It's in Orlando, Florida. I've been to Orlando. It's got Disney and stuff around it. It's a really big school. I have my major, and it's pretty diverse. So it's really, they just had everything that I like, basically. And then with LSU was in Louisiana. I've never been to Louisiana, but I was able to visit their campus because they had an admitted student day on one of the days when my mom was off. And it was like, so I just went to that. I enjoyed it. It was very warm weather, which I do like warm weather, but it was very humid. It's just like Georgia weather, just a little bit more warm. So I didn't really think it was diverse, but when I went on campus, it was pretty diverse. LSU obviously is a pretty big sports school, so there's a lot of spirit. And I think there's like a lot of things to do at LSU. I'm not sure, but I also know there's a lot of stuff to do at this one too. Okay, so for the school that I'll be going to in fall 2022, two of them pretty much took themselves out. Like I kind of was left with only one decision unless I wanted to go to one of the schools I already took out. So within these 3 schools, what school am I going to be going to? What do you guys think? Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna do a quick little transition. So I'm going to be going to LSU for fall 2022. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm really excited. Basically, UCF waitlisted me and I haven't heard back. And then NCAT still says they don't have my transcript. So yeah, it's May 1st. Basically, I had to decide on a school. And I actually had paid my enrollment deposit for LSU April 1st because I wanted to apply for scholarships. And you could only apply for scholarships if you had an account. And you could only get an account if you paid for enrollment or paid your enrollment deposit. So I pretty much decided already. But I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna pay my deposit. If I don't end up going here, then I'm just gonna pay it back to my mom. Okay, I'm recording on my phone because my computer wanted to act up. This is a flight I was talking about, by the way. And also, I just woke up, so excuse the sound, or the voice, and the look. But one thing that I forgot to mention, which was a big factor in why I chose LSU, was because they said I get in-state tuition for my dad's military benefits. So yeah, it was another, because it is a 7-hour drive, which to me is far, but it's not that far. And like my dad was trying to say it's too far, but like he wouldn't be in Florida, and Orlando is 7 hours too, or it's like about 7 hours. So it's really like very close in distance. Not very close in distance, but like, you know, like here to Orlando versus here to the school, the distance is like very similar. So yeah, so that was one thing that I forgot to mention. So this is school I'll be going to for fall 2022. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to probably make a stats video coming up soon, because I talk a lot and I don't want to end this video because it's going to be even longer. But yeah.